There are false wood fixtures that have everyday functions, and some are used as public seating, some are bridge. But what you may not know is these are also works of art.
And chances are you have seen them too. Audrey Castoreno dives into the background of the artist who created those unique cement sculptures. They're found all over San Antonio. They're featured in today's Made in SA.
When walking across this footbridge in Brackenridge Park, you may not realize that you're walking on art that's been in San Antonio for nearly 100 years. Its artist's name, one that may have been forgotten, if not for the piqued interest of author Patsy Pittman Light.
I live really close here, and I would see the pieces, and I would really wonder about them. So I decided that maybe I found out who did them.
She learned these art installations are the work of Mexican artist Dionisio Rodriguez.
I think he was the first person to do this work in San Antonio.
Light began traveling around the city and to other states, documenting the sometimes forgotten genre of art in her book, Capturing Nature, the Cement Sculptures of Dionisio Rodriguez.
It's important because he is a folk artist in his own right, and he's a Hispanic artist that was not recognized early.
His technique can fool the eye in thinking that these structures are made of real wood.
We call it trabajo rustico. The technique really began in the late 1800s in France.
Rodriguez first made a name for himself in Mexico City, arriving in San Antonio in 1942 when the city and other wealthy landowners commissioned him to create his pieces of art. There are 15 known works of Rodriguez scattered across the city and into 8 states. Rodriguez, now known as somewhat of a trailblazer in the technique.
His work is unique because he has a special touch, a special talent. The different types of wood that he was able to emulate, his way of working is probably the best of all of them, even though there are others that are working and they have different styles, but he was the great master.
Many of these works of art are now in need of restoration, but thanks to those who have learned his techniques, this style of art will live on, becoming somewhat of a familiar theme around San Antonio.
Yeah, so pretty cool story. I learned a lot about, Dionisio Rodriguez, and I didn't even know that this was here. I thought those were just something the city put in, but it's actual art.
I thought the same thing. I just thought, well, that's kind of cool the way they did that. I had no idea.
Yeah, I love when you learn about stuff like that.
And there's 15. Patsy Light gave me this map. There's 15 of Dionisio's, but then Maximo Cortez worked under him all those years, and his son learned after him, and so some of their works of art are on this map all across the city. So some of them that you're seeing may be Dionisio, some of them may not be, but his art is living on.
Regardless, whoever made it, they're really cool.
They are.
Yeah.